That's the arrangement. These are the better block. So literally just put the block on the ground, level it out roughly, and then a couple of pieces of timber sloping at the back, and the weight of the log pins everything into place. 3 breeze blocks along the length just to stop that timber bending and cracking, because it's on a treated pine, and same at that end. So welcome back. Okay, so I'm back at the bottom of Slippery Hill today. So today's job, a little project that I'm gonna do, I've got about a half day, is in this area here. I've had it in the past where I've had a wood store. So I've basically built, I used the racks, or as you can see what's left of those racks, and yeah, put rounds into those racks, put them on the ground here, levelled them out, put rounds into them, and had all the rounds cut up right length, all ready for splitting, and that was pretty useful. Well, let's get me changed. Let's get the excavator down here, get the big bucket on it, the mud bucket, and we'll just scrape some of the earth there and try and level things out a little bit. This is how all of my stands were last year. I'm going to have one like that because that one's complete, and I'm going to try and either build another one with all the scrap, or build one with some better blocks and use the pieces of wood. So the better block arrangement is like that. So you have a piece of timber resting on the outside of the better block. You have a piece of timber in the hole on the better block, just sort of sloping backwards. Do the same on this side, and then obviously your pieces of firewood bridge the gap. So that's the other way that I'm going to do this, depending on how many whole pieces I can make out of all this junk. Let's go grab the excavator. You can see it needs levelling out a little bit. It's still a bit high at the back compared to the front, but 10 minutes with a shovel will fix that easily. And to be honest, looking at it, actually it's not too bad. Does need a little bit of work, but not a huge amount. So, well, more problems with the excavator. So in the same fault I was getting previously, where turned on, it all lights up, glow plugs glowing, glow plugs go out, jack all. So I've checked the glow plug fuse, the 15 amp fuse in here, that's fine. I've checked the 50 amp fuse, that's fine. So I'm going to leave it for now. I need to get on and get some jobs done. So back to this. Just grabbed the shovel, started moving a little bit of dirt around. As you can see, it's not bad, it's pretty level. I'll drop the first base in, and we'll have a look at spirit level just to make sure my eyes are not deceiving me. Looks like it's just got a slight slope that way, which is not too bad as long as it's not too bad. And yeah, let's drop that in, get spirit level on, give it a test, and see what we think. That's the first one in, so let's get the chainsaw on the go, get that filled up with logs, and then move on to the second one. What can I say, you never know what you've got till you start cutting the wood. So the log on the top there, the big one, was out here somewhere. I thought that was relatively solid till I started cutting. Thought I'll take a couple of pieces off the end just to take it to the same length as these, and then I've got a lot more room to get into these logs. Started cutting and this is what you've got. Nice and solid on the outside, but the middle's just mush. So I took another cut and another cut and another cut and another cut. I think this thing's rotten the whole way through. So I'm going to get the axe onto these, split these ones up. I'm not going to stack them on the wood pile like that, because most of that in the middle is just mush, and well, it's just taking up space and it's a waste. So I'll split these with the axe and then drop them into the wood store over there. If it's wet as it looks on the inside, it'll actually take quite a while for the outside to dry. So yeah, it's not like I'm going to be burning them this year. They're going to need to stay there for over winter next summer and then be ready for the winter after. Right, let's get the axe out and get some of this split. So I wasn't expecting to be splitting firewood with an axe today, so I didn't bring my fiskars down, but I always have this one in the back of the car. It's more of a cutting axe than anything, but it's pretty sharp. You should split this stuff really easily. Never done that before, and I've got to say, I actually really like the axe handle on this. Like the flare at the end. Bloody hell. Well, let's stuff that up. So we'll be taking a trip up the hill and getting the axe out. Back in a minute. going to call it a day now. So as you can see over here, we've got 2 wood stacks. So one completed, just need to put the tin on the roof, and one partially done. So obviously the wood stack's built. I'm just starting to fill it up. So that's the arrangement. These are the better block. So literally just put the block on the ground, level it out roughly, and then a couple of pieces of timber sloping at the back, and the weight of the log pins everything into place. 3 breeze blocks along the length just to stop that timber bending and cracking, because it's only treated pine. And same at that end. So I got the 462 going this afternoon. The batteries had died on the camera, but yeah, I got the 462 going. Cut my way through quite a few logs and got them all stacked up here. These logs were interesting. They were down at the bottom of the wood pile. Just trying to find one face that's dry. So as you see on this side, put the moisture meter. So these have been stood, what I should say, these have been stood at the bottom of the wood pile for I think 3 years, more than 3 years. And there were trees that had either been dead standing or had fallen. So they've been dead for a long time, most probably in the region of sort of 6-7 years. So they've been at the bottom of the wood stack, cut into them, put the moisture meter on this side, you get 4% moisture. One 40cm cut on this side, put the moisture meter on, 38% moisture. So these things really do need booking to length and storing with a lid on them to keep the rain off. Preferably split. What I'm doing here is I don't have time to split all of these right now, so I'm basically just preparing a load of logs for the future. And if I get a lid on them, they'll dry out pretty well. But it's obviously a lot less work to just cut these logs, stack them as they are and put a lid on them, leave them for a year, then to bring the splitter down and stack them all neatly. Okay, so that's the 2 wood piles. As you can see, lifted off the floor there, so we get no moisture coming up from underneath. I want to bring a couple of sheets of tin down and sort of tie that tin sheet around. Hey, shh, there, sit. And then yeah, we'll call this bit done. So let's go get the pieces of tin and get this finished. What I'll do here is I'll bring some string and just sort of tie them down. I won't tie them together, I'll tie them as individual wood piles. And once I get a chance, I'll bring some smaller pieces for the end just to fill it in. So let's go grab some string and tie this up. Okay, so that's it finished with the 2 pieces of tin tied down. As you can see, that'll just keep it all dry, and when I'm back at the top of the hill, I'll bring some smaller pieces down and just fill the end in here. Plus, as you saw, I did take a few pieces from here and kind of fill it in, so I'll I'll need a little bit more timber just to fill that in, but that's it, easy as. I can leave that now over winter, and next summer that'll be, or by the end of next summer that'll definitely be dry. Only some of that's wet, some of it's actually very dry inside. It's a real mix. So that's it. If you've enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos coming your way, and especially the one from tomorrow where I'll have 2 log splitters on the go, smashing my way through cubes and cubes of firewood. Okay, see you soon.